This is Mario here with Junkremovalmoney. In this video, I want to teach you how to optimize your Google My Business listing to get more customers from your Google My Business listing for your dumpster rental business. Now, this can be applied to any type of business that is a service-based business that wants to rank better on Google, but in this example, we're going to be utilizing a dumpster rental company as a primary example. If you don't know what Google My Business is or GBP, I have another video linked somewhere here on the screen that will teach you exactly what Google My Business is and how to set one up. This video is going to be more so if you already have one created and you want to make sure that you're optimizing it so that it gets the most amount of calls and most amount of reach for you. That's what this video is for. The number one thing that most people overlook when they set up their Google My Business listing is they overlook what it is that the Google My Business listing is trying to rank for. You should have one primary keyword or search phrase that you're trying to optimize for, and that is going to be dependent on where you live and exactly the type of service that you're offering. So if you didn't know, in every single city there's going to be a most sought after search phrase, and for this example we're going to be using a dumpster rental business in Phoenix. Now for this specific example, the number one most search phrase in this city will be dumpster rentals Phoenix or dumpster rentals Phoenix. And that is the number one search phrase that any business in this area that is a dumpster rental company should be going after, the main search phrase that's going to bring in the most volume. It doesn't make sense to start targeting for roll-offs if that is not a commonly searched phrase or not a phrase that is searched often enough to bring you enough business. I'm going to give you some examples here, and this will change based on where you live. I recently audited another company that is a dumpster rental business out of Canada. And to my surprise, when I did my keyword research, the words dumpster rentals don't get searched as much as containers in Canada. So people are actually looking for container rentals versus dumpster rentals. So in that situation, depending on what city I'm located in, I would actually be optimizing for the words container rental and then the city name. Once you've chosen the specific search phrase that you want your business to rank for, now you want to make sure that the actual address, the physical location of your business aligns with that search phrase. Now this is going to come as a big surprise to a lot of you, but the specific area of where you register your business to is what's going to primarily drive that search phrase versus getting you work outside of your service area. For example, we're using the phrase dumpster rentals Phoenix, and if our address isn't physically in Phoenix and it's somewhere outside of Phoenix, we will most likely never show up for the search phrase dumpster rentals Phoenix. There are two different types of ways you should set up your Google My Business listing when doing it. Now, the first way is a service-based business where it's just going to show a service area on the map because you're not displaying an address. And this is what Google tells you to do when you have a service-based business, which a dumpster rental company is. Now, a business that displays an address will always rank much better. Now, the problem here is when you're first starting off with this business, you're most likely using a residential address. You might not have a shop or an office or something like that. And you shouldn't be displaying your house address because then your business could go up for suspension if you're violating Google's terms and conditions. Now, there are workarounds on getting a physical address, which would be renting a small office space, renting a lot, renting space on where you keep your equipment, places like that. Things you never want to do though is utilize a PO box number or a virtual office. You'll almost always get suspended if you do something like that. But what I mean by choosing the correct address is this. Google defines specific cities on their map differently than we might define them. So one quick thing that you can do to figure out what Google defines as your specific city is going to Google and typing in the city that you live in. For this example, we're going to be using Phoenix. When I type in Phoenix, Arizona into Google, it's going to give us this red outline, this dotted outline. This to them is basically what Phoenix consists of. And so you want to make sure you choose an address that is defined by them as Phoenix. So somewhere inside this red area, okay? Now, if you want to take it a step further, you want to make sure that you get as close to the city center as possible. And like I said, Google chooses where these specific cities centers are. So one way to figure out where they determine that the city center is by now going to the directions tab, hitting directions right here, typing in Phoenix again, and it'll drop a pin on the map. You saw the pin right here. This is where they determine that the city center is. So what your job is to do is to find an address, an office, somewhere you can rent that is close to that pin as possible, because that is going to give you the best chances of ranking for that search phrase with the city name in it. Once you have the address established, the next most important thing is going to be the name that you chose on Google My Business. And right here is going to be the make or break for you. You want to make sure that you choose a name that includes the keywords that you're trying to rank for, okay? If you choose a name that is confusing to Google and is confusing to people searching, it is gonna hurt you in a lot of different ways. It's gonna hurt you in visibility, and it's gonna hurt you in click-through rates. So I'm gonna give you some examples here. A bad name for this business would be Bob's Enterprises. People searching would be confused by it. It wouldn't include any keywords that would determine what type of business you are and what type of services you offer. And then a good name would be Bob's Dumpster Rentals of Phoenix, or Bob's Dumpster Rentals Phoenix, something like that. Now, you don't want to play too close with fire. You wouldn't want to just name your business Dumpster Rentals in Phoenix, Arizona. That is playing a little bit too close to spam. And what'll happen is Google will suspend your Google My Business listing, and it'll be quite hard for you to get it back. Now, there are workarounds on getting these business names to stick, and legally you can go and get something called a DBA, a doing business as, and getting that to be the legal business name before you submit it to Google. And it's really important that you choose a name that is going to work well, but is not overly spammy, but then that you get a DBA that matches that business name. In case you ever do get suspended, you have a legal way to get it back, basically. And it's really inexpensive to get a DBA, and it's fairly easy to get one. But having these things in place will make sure that you're able to retrieve your Google My Business listing if something were to ever to happen. Now, moving on to the next tip here, and this is going to be choosing the best primary service category for your business. I'm going to show you some examples here on the screen. So when we type in dumpster rentals Phoenix, Arizona, we're going to get these results here, and we're going to get different variations based on where you are physically. But I want you to pay attention close to next to the stars here where it says dumpster rental service. This is the primary service category that this business is using. Now, if you look at all these listings, the first two are listed as a dumpster rental service before anything else, right? And you get down to this third one, there's a garbage collection service, then it goes back to dumpster rental services, and it ends up being dumpster rental services for like 90% of them. Randomly, it'll throw in a waste management company, but you'll see that even when it is a waste management company, it'll have some variation of the words dumpster in the name of the business. It'll have the words dumpster rentals in reviews that people have left. So their keywords are there. But what I'm saying here is the number one business will always be in this primary service category of dumpster rental services. And what ends up happening specifically in this industry is you offer more than one service. Most of the time you offer junk removal services or other services, and you're confused as to what to classify your business as the primary service category. And the primary service category should match the main phrase and the main type of work that you want to get. So for this example, choosing dumpster rental service should be the primary service category, and Google will always show you that that's correct, because if you do the search yourself, you'll most likely get a dumpster rental service primary category always to show up first before the other ones. Now, there are other factors. Like I said, having a pin on the map, having that pin closer to the middle of the city is always going to be the best option for you. Now let's talk about some other things within Google My Business that are important but aren't necessary, and it is including services and products. Now, services and products should not be confused with each other, and if you want to play it safe, I would not add products. But when you're looking at your Google My Business profile, there will always be a section there to add services. And you could add new services that aren't classified from Google already as services, and then write long descriptions as to what that service actually means. Now, when we talk about products, I have here on the screen, I clicked on one of the businesses, the top one, and you'll see here that they have products included. Now, Google does not want you to actually add a service as a product. It's actually violating their terms and conditions, but I found that businesses that do this rank much higher. So for this example, they're adding a 20-yard dumpster rental as a product, and then they write a description as to what that means. And then if you click on it, it'll take you to their website. So you can do this and it will really help your business, but at some point in time you could pay for that. And so if you do get suspended and you know that you added products, one of the things you can do is delete the products and then submit an appeal, and you'll most likely get your business listing back. The next thing that is really important to how a business ranks on Google is the website that they're attaching to the business, or the landing page that they're attaching to the business. The reason I say that is because sometimes people won't take you to their homepage, they'll take you to a separate landing page of that website that helps them rank. So for this example, if we click on this right here, open up their website, we'll get a better understanding of how this website was structured, how it is that it's ranking, and how it is that it's helping their Google My Business listing. So there are 3 to 4 main things on a website that will help you rank, okay? The number one thing that will determine whether a site or a page of a site ranks for something is going to be the title of that page. So if you hover across the top of any tab here on Google Chrome, you'll see that they have these words written at the top, and this is the title of that specific page. And if you look at it, it says the words Phoenix, and then it says dash Scottsdale, Arizona, and then dumpster rentals. Now, if you look at it closely, it actually includes, in a very different way of how we wrote it, but it includes all those keywords. Even though they're not together, it includes them in the title, and that is why this business ranks. Now, the next most important thing would be the H1 tag. And an H1 tag is basically a header tag that displays on your website as the most important phrase on this website, okay? So out of all the writing on this website, there could be, 2,000 words, 1,000 words plus. There's gonna be a phrase here that is the one that they're trying to optimize for. And one way to find out is by hovering over it like this and then right-clicking and then inspect. And I was right. So even though it's not the largest one, if you look at this, it says dumpster rentals in Phoenix and Scottsdale, Arizona. And then when I did that, if you look over here, it says H1, and then it's within the parentheses and brackets of that. So this means that this is what they're optimizing for, and it is in line with the words that we use and the specific phrase that brings in the most amount of search. Now, they're gonna have a lot of content on this page, and there's gonna be content that supports that specific phrase. So if you read through this, you're gonna find the words dumpster rentals, you're gonna find the words Phoenix, multiple times sprinkled within the writing of this site so it doesn't look like spam. You're gonna find reviews, and you're gonna find sections like FAQs. FAQ sections are really important because Google wants to see businesses that are actually helping people with their answers in a way that, there's keywords in them. If you need more help with making sure that your Google My Business listing is optimized, or help with your website to make sure that you're getting the most out of your business, getting the most amount of calls, and growing your business, we do offer a free website audit over at Junkremovalmoney.com. We can also get on a one-on-one call and go over a strategy plan that will help your business thrive. My phone number is 503-914-7250. You can call or text me anytime. I hope this was helpful. If you liked this sort of content, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks.